Hare Krishna. Culture is meant to instill values, not instigate cravings. In today's world, whatever is called as culture is often very sensuous. And in the name of culture, people often trigger the lower and even the lowest desires of people, others. So, for example, the entertainment industry, yes, there is art, there is talent over there. But quite often the emphasis on sensuality and materialism is so great that people's lust, people's greed, people's anger is fueled by that. And when this kind of entertainment is what becomes predominant, then that has a terrible effect on the overall consciousness of people. The culture is actually meant to instill values. It is meant to deepen people's inspiration to practice the higher principles of life. So if we consider in the past the kind of stories that people cherished were stories of great heroes, who fought heroic battles, who laid down their lives for great causes, who were very charitable, who were very chivalrous. So the inspiration coming from these stories was what inspired people to try to become similarly value centered, to act nobly even in their lives. But today, unfortunately, if we consider who are the people who captivate people's minds the most, it is usually the people who offer entertainment. Either they can be sports stars, movie stars, TV stars, basically media personalities. And quite often such people, what is their claim to fame? Their claim to fame is not some glorious work they have done in the real world. It is simply their acting or their performance in the movie world, in the entertainment world, which is their claim to fame. And often within that entertainment, they are they're not instilling values in people. Yes, some values are talked about and they're depicted in the movies, but more often than not, more than the values, it is the lower passions that are triggered. So there has to be, in human culture, there has to be a regulation on the exposure to sensuality. The Bhagavad Gita says that selfish desire, lust, and all the other cravings that come from lust, they are actually the enemy of humanity. Iha vairinam. In 3.37, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kamesha krodesha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyena miha vairinam. Krishna says, this is all devouring sinful enemy of this world. Not just of one person or two people, but of the whole world. Krishna says this is the enemy. So if lust is triggered excessively, that can wreak havoc. And what is to be done to regulate this? Krishna says in 3.40 that 41 he says tasmat tvamindriyanyadav niyamya bharatarshabha papamanam prajahiya enam jnana vijnana nashanam. He says therefore indriyanyadav, right from the beginning, one needs to control one's senses. One needs to regulate. And regulating the senses means that there should not be inordinate exposure of the senses to the sense objects. So the culture should facilitate that. At one level, it is for the individual to not seek provocative images for the senses. But self-control is not just an individual effort. It also has to be a social effort. That means the society has to be arranged where there is minimum exposure of the senses to the sense objects. And when this is followed, when instead of having images that instigate lower desires in people, instigate the endless cravings in people, when the imagery, the stories, the motifs, that is used to instill values. So the great epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are filled with stories which actually instill these values. And therefore, if our culture, the more and more we can, at least at an individual and at our level of our social circle, we can permeate our culture with these values, which these stimuli which instill values, then we'll find that our efforts for self-mastery, for inner growth, for bringing out our higher side will be much more easily and effectively fruitful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.